We feel so incredibly lucky.
Oh man, we're just so happy to be back in Washington. We love the state.
Yeah. After spending a week in Idaho, we have finally made it to Washington, and we are kicking off our time here with one of the things that we loved the most when we lived here, Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier is an active volcano, and it's the tallest mountain in Washington at 14,411 feet. And on a clear day, you can see her from hundreds of miles away. And when we lived in Seattle, and whenever it was a really clear day and the mountain was out, I would gasp so loud every time in excitement that if Adam was driving and I gasped, he would think we were like hitting a squirrel or something, and he'd like swerve the car. But she's just so dang majestic.
We've been to Mount Rainier National Park 4 times and have not had the best of luck. The first time we came, we ended up doing our hike twice because the first time it was foggy, then it cleared up, and we hiked again. Our second time, it was covered in wildfire smoke, and the third and fourth time, just foggy and cloudy.
But it looks like 5th time's the charm. For our first adventure at Mount Rainier National Park, we're doing a sunset hike up to the Mount Fremont Fire Lookout, which we think is around 6 miles round trip and somewhere between 700 and 1,200 feet of gain. We've read different things everywhere, so we're not sure.
And we are absolutely pumped because if the weather stays anything like it is now, it's gonna be some epic freaking views. So far the trail has been great. It's not too steep. It's a nice easy walk. The trail's nice and wide. It's great.
Pretty well maintained. There's a couple spots where you have to cross snow, but they're not that bad. And the views are incredible. But there's this menacing cloud that's threatening to ruin our view.
Alright, so we said it's pretty smooth sailing most of the way, but then once you get to the water over here and you turn off to go closer to the lookout, I guess, it starts going up and up and up.
It's not too bad, but it's definitely harder than before.
I think we see it way at the end. Well, you might not be able to see it now, a cloud.
Ooh, I hope these clouds go away.
They're kind of moving and mixing around.
They move pretty fast.
Yeah.
We have some time. What time is it, Adam?
It's 8 minutes to 7.
So we have 2 hours till sunset. A lot can change.
Yeah, good or bad. We made it. I'm not talking very loud because there's people around.
It's awkwardly quiet.
And it's kind of awkward. But these clouds keep coming in and out. And we still have a view of Rainier. But these dang clouds better stay away. So you can actually stay in this fire lookout. That's something I've always wanted to do. That would be so freaking cool. I know we came here for Mount Rainier, but this meadow like off in the distance I keep talking about it. I keep mentioning it. It's like it's blowing me away. I think because it like kind of looks like a golf course, like in the early light or sunset light. It's just, I love it.
We made ourselves a little dinner to enjoy at the top, and the best part is that it's a built-in hand warmer. It feels so good right now. It's getting really cold because the sun's hiding behind a cloud.
Check it out.
Dinner with a view.
Ooh.
the clouds left and it looks like we're gonna get our epic Rainier sunset. Oh my God, this mountain is my favorite in the entire world. It is just so freaking beautiful.
We feel so incredibly lucky. Like, it was getting pretty cloudy there, like right before the sun started setting, and the last like 20 minutes before it set, it just like completely cleared out.
This is incredible. Nuts. We can't get ourselves to leave. We just keep taking videos and photos. Like every second, like it changes a little when the light, like the sun keeps going down more. It's just so
better and better.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe how lucky we got. We really, for a while, we were a little bummed out. Like, we were so happy we got to see Mount Rainier today, which was exciting in itself, but we really wanted to see it at sunset up here, and oh man, it delivered.
All right, time to make our trek down back to the van in the dark. It is 10:40 and we made it back to the van, and we have about an hour drive to our spot for the night.
And we're gonna grab a few hours of sleep and get up early to explore more of Mount Rainier National Park.
Sunset hike plus an early morning hike the next morning. I'm not sure why we thought this was a good idea, but this coffee is gonna help for sure.
So Mount Rainier has 5 developed areas, and yesterday we were in the Sunrise area, and today we're gonna visit 2 more areas, Ohanapecosh, I think is how you say it, and Paradise.
Our first adventure of the day is in the Ohanapecosh area. We're going to a hike, more like a walk, called the Grove of the Patriarchs. We hear that it's one of the easiest hikes in the park. There's not going to be any mountain views, but there should be some pretty cool sights along the way.
So as we said, this hike isn't known for mountain views, it's known more for the vegetation. There are tons of just plants all around, tons of really green plants. There's huge trees. We're actually about to take a suspension bridge over to an island of really big trees, and there's this gorgeous, super clear river just rushing right past us.
And this river is the Ohanapecosh River, and it's clear, which is kind of different from some of the other rivers in the park because this water comes from like melting snowfields and inactive glaciers, so that makes it really clear versus water that comes from glaciers where it's kind of that milky blue water that's kind of cloudy. So it's pretty cool and different.
One thing that's nice about this trail is they have plaques all around to tell you all these things. So that's where we've learned
That's where I got that. In an age of 1,000 years, holy crap.
This is the coolest suspension bridge I think we've ever been on. It's so wobbly.
So obviously people come to this park for Mount Rainier, but don't sleep on the Grove of the Patriarchs trail. It's nice and easy, and there's so many giant beautiful, magnificent trees.
We just kept going, that one's so huge. And we loved the crystal clear river and the bridge was fun. It was just a really nice, easy hike. And right across from the parking lot of Grove of the Patriarchs, there's apparently a little trail to a place called Silver Falls that our friend told us about. So we're gonna go check that out now.
So that little detour was absolutely epic. It's just, I guess just the river just ripping through this. I guess it created like a canyon. And man, it was so loud and powerful and just the water's so blue. Man, that was awesome. So we're about to walk up to the official Silver Falls, but the whole way, most of the way to the Silver Falls, you just got these crazy cascades. Oh, it's so beautiful. You're just looking right down on them. Man.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
This view is great too.
Wow, yeah.
Oh my gosh, as we've said before, I typically do a lot of the research and Adam's always surprised, but we kind of just went with our friend's suggestion without really researching much because we haven't had service. And I'm blown away by this hike. It's so simple, but just so beautiful.
It's amazing. Like, this is so cool. If you come for the Grove of Patriarchs, come for this one. This one's
maybe
equally, if not better.
Maybe this is popular and we just never heard about it, but I've never heard about this hike and I'm blown away, completely blown away.
It's good, like if you come to the park and it's rainy and you wanted to see the mountain, this is like an excellent plan B. That's good like any weather, you know?
Oh man, we're just so happy to be back in Washington. We love the state.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd show you guys a map of Mount Rainier National Park and show you where we've been and where we plan to go the rest of the day. So as you can see, the park basically just surrounds the peak of Mount Rainier, and there's 5 different areas, like we mentioned, spread out throughout. We went to the Sunrise Visitor Center yesterday, and that's where we started our hike to the Mount Fremont lookout. We then drove somewhere up there to camp for the night. And then this morning we drove from that spot all the way down to right here, the Stephen Canyon's entrance, where we hiked the Grove of the Patriarchs Trail, and we also did the Silver Falls Trail, which I accidentally just covered up with the Sharpie. So our plan is to head over here to the Paradise area of the park. However, part of this road is closed. I think there's just still some snow and they may not be plowing it due to COVID. I forget the exact reason. So instead we have to go all the way around to get to Paradise, which we believe will take us about 2 hours or so. We're not sure how long it normally takes, but it's not that far. But we still want to go, even though it's a little inconvenient to drive that far. And while we're there, we have a couple plans which we'll share once we get there, because we're not totally sure what we can do. We hear it's still pretty snowy there, but we're hoping to see this cool waterfall and maybe play in the snow as well. A couple other hikes we've done in the past are Tommy Peak, which is a really cool fire lookout up in this corner of the park. We did that one when it was kind of smoky out, so it wasn't the best view, but it was still really nice. And then we've also done the Natchez Peak Loop, which is over here. And that was beautiful. That was our first time ever hiking at Mount Rainier. It was really foggy at first and it got clear, so we did that hike twice. We also have snowshoed over at Paradise, the area we're going to. That was really beautiful. We've also done this hike called Summit Lake, or at least we tried to do a hike called Summit Lake for sunset. It was actually our last hike in Washington before we moved into the van, but it was probably our biggest hiking fail of all time. The weather didn't look that great, but we held out hope and we got there and it was just a blanket of fog. You couldn't see anything. It was really funny actually, because that's just kind of what happens in Washington. Sometimes you think it'll be great and it's not. I can't find it on the map though, so I can't show you where it was, but we'd love to go back eventually and do that hike. The road was really rough though, so I don't think it's good for the the van, but the views are supposed to be epic. Just go on a sunny day.
Alright, even after living here for 3 years in the PNW, we just completed a PNW first. We stopped at one of these little tiny roadside espresso little coffee shops that are in probably every single little town in Washington. And we got coffee. We've never done it before, even though we lived here for several years. So we stopped at Rise and Grind, you know. You can't beat that name.
We're definitely feeling a bit tired. We needed a pick-me-up so we could have fun the rest of the day. And we have no idea if it'll be good. It can't be bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's pretty good. But today's been a day of just winging it a little bit. We went on that surprise hike and it was amazing. And we just had a little spontaneous coffee stop. So it has to be amazing if it's going with the theme of the day.
Yeah. And this is why we try to get to places super early. But in the meantime, we can sip on our espressos here and try to wake up a little bit. My eyes are a little tired.
Don't burn your mouth.
Not bad.
It's actually pretty good. It's better than I expected, to be honest.
Thought we were gonna score a win here and beat some traffic. So they have 2 lanes open where you pay, and then they have that hut on the right, and we show her our path. There's a person actually earlier back in the line saying like, oh, if you have your pass, you can go through this line. Well, we're too tall for it. So we have to wait with all the common folk.
Yeah, we would 100% knock off part of the van if we tried to go underneath that.
We're in, we made it, wahoo! Welcome to paradise. Similar to yesterday at sunrise, you get crazy, amazing views just from the freaking parking lot.
It is awesome. So we've been to paradise once before. We went snowshoeing. We snowshoed somewhere up in there, but it definitely was not as clear of a day. No. So it's really nice to be back and see it in all of its glory. To be honest, we don't really know what we're gonna do here. We just wanted to come here and show this to you guys. So we're gonna head to the visitor center, try to ask some questions about what's accessible. I can't see right now because my glasses are fogging up. Too. And then we'll just figure it out. We talked with a park ranger and they gave us some tips on what we can do since a lot of the trails around here are completely covered in snow. So we're gonna head to Myrtle Falls, which is an iconic photo spot in this part of the park. It's about half a mile there, half a mile back, all on snow. There's no marked trail, but there's enough people around that you can tell where to go. And I don't know if it's gonna look like what we've seen, but it might be really pretty, like a winter wonderland in July.
We don't have the best shoe choices, but we'll survive, I think. Maybe just slipping.
I'm not sure why we didn't wear our hiking shoes and spikes. I think we're just too tired to think straight, but definitely wear better shoes. It's doable, but it's a little slick.
All right, we made it to Myrtle Falls.
No, there's another route.
Sick views, guys. I mean, it is a nice view,
but
the
view is great.
There's no waterfall view.
They said the waterfall
still under snow.
Still under snow, which is super abnormal. Normally you can see it by now. So we might be walking on it right now. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, it's bright. But my glasses keep getting fogged up.
So even though this is a little bit of a fail, it's still beautiful because, I mean, we're in snow right now in July, and Mount Rainier, and Mount Rainier looks so beautiful with the snow. Yeah, this is still beautiful.
Still epic. Bust herself. All right, here we go. It's gonna be a slip and slide on the way down.
What's crazy is we're 1,000 feet lower in elevation from our sunset hike last night, where we started the hike, not at the top. and there's so much more snow here, like a lot of more snow. And we keep seeing people with snowboards and skis, I guess, going up the mountain, and then they're gonna ski or snowboard down. It's so crazy. We made it back to the van and we didn't wipe out. Oh yeah. So I think we're gonna attempt one more spot today for our Mount Rainier adventure called Reflection Lake. We're gonna take this little scenic drive down to it. I don't think you can actually hike in like you normally can, but I'm hoping you can still see something from the car.
I just can't get over that everywhere we go in the park, we've been the northeast, the southeast, and now I think we're in the southwest-ish, and we're just still getting like incredible clear views of the mountain.
This is not the luck that we had when we actually lived here.
Okay, we lied, one more stop. This is a can't miss one. We're at Narada Falls, giant waterfall. We parked and then we saw that there's like a viewing area across the way. We're gonna head down there now.
Warning, you'll get wet.
This is awesome though. It's a giant waterfall.
I'm really glad we made this last minute stop.
We had an amazing 24 hours here at Mount Rainier National Park. Kona's loved it too.
Kona's felt a little left out, so she's excited to be included for this part.
Yeah, but we feel so lucky that we were able to see the mountain so clear the entire time.
Yeah.
Just from all over the park, everywhere we went.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and this was really our first time like actually spending a good... This was actually our first time that we actually spent like a good solid day here, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, we normally just do like one-off hikes, not actually explore different areas of the park, so it's been so much fun. The park's way more diverse than I always thought it was. I always thought everything just was a view of Mount Rainier, but there's so many more things like the rivers, the waterfalls, the big trees. So it's been a blast. We're very excited to be back here in Washington.
Yeah.
We have some more Washington adventures planned. We're not 100% sure what we're gonna do yet, just because weather, and we have so many ideas, so we have to figure out what we want to do. So you'll just have to stay tuned to see what we get up to next.
My face underwear. These are my black nighties.
Kona, say hi. Oh no! Oh, he's over here. We have the largest fly in our van right now. Durner.